We are back answering your stimulus-related questions with Scott Braddock from Scott Braddock Financial and Mark Hensley from AARP North Carolina, the Triad Region. And we already have plenty of questions for you guys for round two. First one, will college students ever get stimulus money? Mark.
Oh, that's a great question. So a dependent child in this stimulus, this second round, is defined as a child that is age 16 or younger. So that leaves out a lot of juniors and seniors in high school. But if in 2020, if you were working, you'll be filing taxes, and you're not counted as a dependent by your parents, you can put in for this tax credit of $600 when you file your 2020 taxes. So that is a change from the last one. The second one is for those, but if you were a college student, you were counted as a dependent, it is the same as before. You and your parents are not going to receive a dependent stimulus payment.
Okay. This person says, is the second payment like the first? Do I have to pay taxes on it? Scott.
Well, we are not going to be required to pay taxes on the second round of stimulus, nor are we required, as you just mentioned, to pay taxes on the first round. This is a tax credit. The idea behind this stimulus is to help struggling folks during the pandemic. And also to help stimulate the economy. What's interesting that I've read on is that it looks like most folks, when they received the stimulus, they used it to pay down debt or they saved it. Only about 1/3 of the folks that received the stimulus actually spent the money and helped to take care of expenses and things like that.
Interesting. Okay. This person says online, it says payment to status not available. Any idea what I need to do to get an update? Mark?
So there's a couple of fixes. One is, have you checked the wrong time of day? Keep in mind the IRS is updating this information overnight. So if you check before you went to bed, you need to check the next day. Keep in mind that all of these tools only came online about midday yesterday. Tanya did a great article on WFMY online about that. So we're only about 30, 35 hours into this. So be patient, check it at different times of the day, every day. The other thing is, if you're using a browser, let's say you're using Google Chrome and you're getting error messages, try to use another browser like Foxfire or some other to check the website, because you could have cookies that are in there from the last time that are causing problems.
Okay. This person says IRS.gov said that my payment was deposited on January 4th, but it's not in my bank account. I'm not sure where to go from here.
Well, this could be a case, as we spoke about earlier today, where their money could have been deposited into their tax preparer's bank account, or it could be that they listed the incorrect banking information. Sometimes the tax preparers will incorrectly list the bank accounts. In addition to that, if you have changed banks, that could be the issue as well. So those are some ideas to look into.
Right. And unfortunately, with the text question, sometimes we can't go back and be like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? To kind of get down to exactly what's going on with their situation. This person says, I received the first stimulus check, but I did not file a 2019 tax return. Will I receive the second check? Mark, do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yes. So the IRS has clearly said if you receive the first stimulus payment, you don't need to do anything. There is no longer a non-filers portal on the IRS.gov. And if you received it, that means they have your information and you will receive the second stimulus. But for whatever reason, if it doesn't show up, then after the 15th of January, they would need to file for this rebate and file their 2020 taxes.
All right, so this person is asking, Scott, if you owe taxes next year, but you have to wait to do your stimulus and do it as the recovery rebate when you file your taxes, if you owe money, will that recovery rebate take that money off of your taxes, or do they send it separate? How does that work?
Well, the answer is yes. So if you need to claim this credit on your tax return because you do not receive it by the 15th, then one or two things are going to happen. If you are due a refund, you're going to receive an increased refund. However, if you owe taxes, then this stimulus check will go towards the taxes that you owe.
Okay. This person is asking, have any stimulus checks been mailed out, or is it all direct deposit right now? Mark?
So we know that they are deploying 3 different types of payments. Direct deposit. I'm hearing a lot of different incomes are getting those, even above the 75,000, the smaller amount. Then paper checks are going out, and we know that the mail is slower these days. And then that prepaid blue with white stars one-time debit card. And there's no consistency. The IRS is very transparent that they're doing this in batches, and that you may have received a direct deposit in the past, you may receive a check this time, and it's really unknown. So watch your mailbox and don't throw that card away if you get it. It is not a scam.
Yes, because it doesn't say IRS except for in the letter when you read it. So you do have to actually open up all of your mail within the next couple of weeks to make sure. All right, we're getting several questions around the same thing. They're saying, what do you do if you never received even the first stimulus and you're not really even sure that you're going to get the second stimulus? So there is something you can do.
Yes, so if you're sure that you are eligible and you didn't receive either one of these stimulus payments, even people who are non-filers, meaning that they don't have an income to report, there is a form, and it will be readily available to be completed to receive this as a tax rebate in 2021 during normal tax filing time.
All right, we're getting some questions too about, I had direct deposit. Will I get a check since I closed the account? We're going to answer that question and others when we come back. You continue to text your question 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.